Ladies and gentlemen, Debate Amongst Friends is brought to you by I Got the Golden Ticket. Just kidding. Ha, ha, ha. Doc Leeson here, the podcasting beast from the East, and the Professor John Gotti, the King of G, the Troll Master of the Data Analyzer Nation. Of his own feed. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Terminator. Oh, yes. The cleaner.
I want to give a big shout out to Jim Ross. He was just diagnosed with skin cancer, and I wish him the best.
Oh, yeah. He was. JR been through some stuff, though, man. He had
Yes.
he had the stroke before, right?
He had the stroke. He lost his wife.
Yeah, he's been through a lot, man. Skin cancer. I mean, in an environment that we're in, I just feel like this is a time to be just kind of just thankful, man. Just thankful. But Johnny, we had some bold and not so bold predictions from yesterday's game. We had some interesting college football movements, basketball weekend, flag football weekend. How you doing there, boy?
Good, man. Can't even call it. I'm not as hype as Doc Elitelo, but
That boy got that golden ticket. That's why, boy.
I'll do my best.
Here we go, though. We got Denver losing to Cleveland. Denver is who we thought they were. Cleveland, you know, I
But we
mean,
talked about the Thursday night game.
oh yeah, that's right. I was about to say they won 2 in a row. My God, they're killing it.
Wow.
I was like, dang, Cleveland, you're killing it. 2 in a row.
Ladies and gentlemen, Doc may be overhyped today.
Yeah, that might be way too much. All right, let's go. Let's get live. Let's get live here. Carolina getting shellacked by the Giants.
You frauds too?
Carolina, big frauds, big frauds. I was like, we were praising the name of Sam Darnold the first 3 games, I mean, we can't even say it's because of Christian McCaffrey because, I mean, it's
They're
just not
two
looking
different
good.
teams without Christian McCaffrey.
But I don't know because it was a game that they lost Christian McCaffrey and he still played well. I think that Texans game is when it started to kind of go downhill. Um, that's when I
That's
guess
really, really bad. That's
the
really, really
real
bad.
Donald really came out. Remember, I was talking about General Mills and
Yep.
all the cereal that they have, and how he could have led the Panthers to victory. Not the Panthers, the Texans to victory. But needless to say, NFC South outside of Tampa is not looking good right now. But we'll see how it finishes. Not how it starts, how it finishes, right?
Exactly.
The New England Patriots said, "You know what? Enough is enough. It's time for the real Patriots to stand up." And standing up is exactly what they did.
I'm so sorry, Bill
Knocking.
Belichick. I did it. I just wanted to see what your team had.
Yeah,
We're
I
still
think we
cool,
both
right?
did. We both pick the Jets, or
No, I
I
picked
mean,
the
not.
Jets. You picked the Patriots.
I
I
picked the Patriots.
I
Okay.
said I was going to pick the Jets just so I can see whether or not the
Yeah.
Patriots finally decided to play offense.
Yeah, and this weekend they talked about the rookie quarterbacks and how none of them are really doing too well. But Mac Jones had a really good game last
Yeah,
night.
Mac Jones is probably the best of the rookies for the quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think he's in the best situation. I mean, obviously they're not asking him to do too much. Similar to some of these other teams.
Hmm.
But I mean, he's standing in there. He took a big shot last week, but this week, I mean, no, they just didn't have an answer.
The Jets didn't have
Zach
a good
Wilson,
defense.
yeah, Zach Wilson got knocked out of the game after going 6 for 10 for 51 yards. So he was on pace to have a pretty solid, okay game. But
PCL injury too, which is really, really bad.
yeah, a 54-13 is your score there. Then we had, which I think I considered one of the first trap games, which I think I chose Kansas City off the. No, did I? I think I might have chose Tennessee.
No, we
Yeah, I
both
can't
chose
remember.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
We both said Tennessee.
And we were correct. You saw the meme yesterday. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers broke the Chiefs.
No, it's not
Um,
that.
I don't think so either. I thought it would get better
Like
because they addressed
I
their
feel
offensive line.
I feel like people just enjoy just kicking teams when they're down. And that's all those memes were yesterday was just kicking a team while they're down.
There's no way. There's no way that somebody like, let's just say, Sammy Watkins makes a
Hmm.
difference
No,
between this team. You
no.
know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what happened.
Their
Um,
their defense took a step back.
who did he lose? I can't remember who they lost. This did they get rid of somebody? I can't even remember. I thought they
No,
brought everybody back.
it's like they're not motivated.
How do you not be motivated? You've been in the Super Bowl 2 times back to back. Yeah.
No, there's no yeah unless you win
Uh,
it.
that's true.
You
That
get the
is true.
yeah if you want the two Super Bowls.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But shout out to the Titans, though. I mean, even though Derrick Henry didn't run for 100 yards, I mean, he still gave him some really, really hard runs. I mean,
Hmm.
it looks like they, really focused in on stopping Derrick Henry. Um,
Yeah,
and I mean, they did a pretty good job
I mean it
for
was a
29
classic
carries.
chess game. We know that your strength is running the ball. We're gonna put eight in the box. Well, the Titans instead of them, being bullheaded and keep trying to run the ball, they threw it over the top. And
Exactly.
what you saw is what happened.
Exactly. As expected, Green Bay beat up on the Washington football team.
Yeah.
Um, Atlanta beat Miami
I want to
30 to
see if
28.
the Green Bay Packers will finally not be number 10 anymore.
Mm, they'll be number 10 still. It's just a Washington football team. I think we said this about another team beating the Washington football team. This is a team that they're supposed to beat. If they can't go down. If they go up, it'll be one slot tops. Can't be more than that.
I still feel like it's people targeting Aaron Rodgers because of the whole
I
offseason
know.
thing.
I know. The another trap game here, which we both picked the Bengals to win. Bengals beating up on the Baltimore Ravens,
Yeah.
41-17.
Again,
Now that's a game I want to see.
this was a bend until break game.
Hmm.
Like when the Ravens have momentum, they could arguably be one of the best teams in the NFL, hands
True,
down.
true. But this is the
But
game that's going to determine their. This is the one that's going to determine their power ranking, as well
exactly.
as Lamar Jackson's rating. But
Now
this is the
I
one.
want to, and I literally told you after
Yeah,
this game, I said I better see both the Bengals drop to the power rankings and Lamar Jackson drop in the QB index.
really?
Yep,
You want to see that? That's what you
yep,
want to see.
yep. That happened.
Wow, that boy
Doc
got
keep
the
pointing
golden
to
ticket.
poor Charlie with the golden ticket, so I have to tech him now.
Oh, speaking of Charlie and the ticket, man, we're back here. L.A. Rams. I mean, I think we both chose the Rams um, to beat the Detroit Lions. I mean, but
Yeah,
they were winning though. The Lions had a good strategy. They were winning in
again,
the
they
first
might
half.
be the best winless team in NFL history.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And it's funny we were talking about Anthony Lynn yesterday, and he just so happens to be the offensive coordinator down there. And I thought they played really, really good. It's just the Rams were too good.
Yeah, that's pretty
Um,
much what it was.
yeah, similar to the Raiders in Philadelphia. Philadelphia obviously trying to figure some things out.
They have a
And the
lot
Raiders
to
three and
figure out.
zero since the grinding stopped.
2-0.
The Gruden grind there. They didn't win 3 games.
No, it was 2 games.
I feel like it was 3 games.
No, it was 2 games.
Oh well, maybe I'm showing reads.
Well, Doc is calling the Raiders to win next week's game. I
Calling my
will.
shot.
I will remember that.
Yeah, calling my shot. Babe Ruth style.
Anywho,
Anywho, Arizona moves to 99-0.
wow, no such thing, sir. But yes, they beat up on a hapless Texans team.
And then that team in Tampa Bay
Stop
where
it.
Mike
You will get a second
Evans
tech right now.
gives away the 600th touchdown ball to a fan, and then a security guard has to go back and get it. That's the whole game right there. Nothing else to see here. But a defense
No,
just
no, no. You're not allowed
dominating.
to do that. Don't
What?
underhandedly do that.
What?
That
I
is
didn't call
not
them
part of the
buns.
nope.
I
I
didn't call
said
them the
no,
Buccaneers.
nothing negative about the Buccaneers, and you
There
are
was
trying
nothing
to
negative.
yes, it was.
That's not negative.
Talk about the game. Talk about how their defense did. Talk about how the offense was just clicking. Talk about the special teams.
He went 0 for 6 after throwing a touchdown pass. I mean, it was terrible. It was terrible. I'm sitting here, I'm watching Tom Brady just struggle. I mean, he only had 20 some yards. He actually was throwing some dimes, right? Different dimes, but I mean, we should have put up the same 54 that New England put up. Can you agree with that? We should have put up the same 54 points. Actually, we should have scored 60. We
Wow.
should have put up EFL numbers.
Wow.
That's what we should have did. We should have put up
Wow.
EFL numbers. We should have actually. I mean, I granted, I'm happy that we kept the Bears down to 3. We kept Khalil Mack in check.
Well, Khalil Mack's
Um,
been injured too,
no, it don't matter,
which
man.
is one of the reasons why I was going to pick the Buccaneers. But you was on the fence before the game.
Yeah, it's dangerous, man. It's dangerous until I met that Bears fan at the gas station randomly, and that's when I got a little cocky, a little confidence. He was like, "Hey, man, you need to take that shirt off," and I was like, "Nah, nah, nah." He's like, "I'm a Bears fan," and I'm just like, "Well, sir, before I get in the car or my new truck, let me apologize in advance."
Yeah,
Yeah, that that
and it
that
was a
was.
beat down early too. Actually, it was 21-0.
I mean,
Honestly,
again,
I thought the Bucs was going to shut them out the way that they was
mm-mm.
playing offense, but they had that
No,
one drive
I.
where the defense kind of faltered a little bit that led to the 3 points, and that was
That's the
honestly
one.
it.
No, that's the one that they. If they would have scored there, they would have had a little momentum. I just felt like Justin Fields. I just felt like his morale was low. Like you can kind of tell, even though that might just be his game face. It just looks like
Yikes!
a young man just getting beat up out there. But the Sunday night game was really good as well, which I think I chose Indianapolis. I think you chose San Francisco,
I
which
did,
was
and
pretty
honestly,
cool.
this game could have went either way if we're going to be honest about it.
It's a trap
Like it, especially like in the fourth quarter, it could have went either way.
because it's like who knows that Carson Wentz is going to step back, throw a deep pass while it's pouring rain, and Michael Pittman Jr. is going to come down with it,
Yep,
get tripped up, stumble, and roll into the end zone. Who knows that?
and
Carson
that
Wentz
could
could
have
have threw a pick right there.
and that could have honestly just been the other way.
Exactly, he could have threw a pick right there. Carson
I
Wentz, who
mean,
trusts
as
him,
far
right?
as Jimmy Garoppolo throwing a dime,
Oh
wait
no, I don't believe
to
that
go to
one.
top.
You had me until you said that. Yeah, if somebody else is out there, maybe, but Jimmy G, as Martellus Bennett said, that guy's a beep. Fill in the blank with whatever you like.
Yikes! I can't
But
believe
anyway, we
it.
got Monday night foosball. New Orleans headed to Seattle. We got Jameis. We got Gino. Johnny, who you got?
I'm going when the Saints go marching in. When the Saints go marching in.
This has been the quietest Jameis Winston season of all time.
Yep.
But the Seahawks, 27th in offense, 24th
Mm-hmm.
in defense,
Mm-hmm.
28th in passing,
Mm-hmm.
23rd in rushing.
Yep.
Check this, Johnny, though. The Saints, 32nd in offense, number 2 in defense, 32nd in passing, and 25th in rushing. Ooh, Chapolito. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Who you got?
I think defense is so good. I think I'm gonna go with the Seahawks.
Okay.
Not an NFC, South, I don't want to root for that crap. But I think the Seahawks. I mean, last week the fumble, right? The previous week it was the interception, right? Seahawks had opportunity. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Seahawks. I just think that they're there.
I think tonight's game is going to be a blown coverage.
Jameis down the field for 70 yards or something.
Yep.
Eh. It's gonna be interesting to say the least, but I'll go with the Seahawks. It's all good. But Johnny, moving on here, we talked about it the last 2 weeks. Alabama in the polls has moved up yet again.
Quickly move right back to the top 3. Quickly. That was a 2-week swing, by the way.
Yes, which is hilarious, by the way.
You really think that there's going to keep Alabama out of the top 3? You really think there's going to keep them out of the playoff competition
You gonna get
conversation?
these players
I
unless they lose again.
told you, I told Doc, and I told all of you listening right now that it was never a matter of if, only
No, you
when.
did. But really quickly here, Georgia did beat. Well, this was before. Let's move down some. Let's move down.
Georgia beat
Give me
Florida.
the. There we go. That sounds better. That sounds a lot
No,
better
I'm
than
sorry.
what.
That's what they're playing this week. Sorry.
Yeah, that sounds better than what they're giving me here on NCAA.com. But I
Yes, that's
think
a
we
good team.
started the week here with Coastal Carolina losing to Appalachian State, which I think we
Mm-hmm.
kind of talked about on the show. Like it was going to be a tough matchup. Um, so
We also had
obviously,
SMU beating Tulane on Thursday,
yes,
55-26.
which is great because that keeps them in. That's obviously going to move them up a little bit. So that's awesome. Cincinnati beating Navy,
It's not going to
right?
move them up that much, actually. Only move them up
Yeah.
3 slots, but sure.
And even though Oklahoma won against Kansas and, Alabama beat Tennessee, you think that it would stay the same, right? 3
You would
4. Yeah.
you would think
Uh
that, right?
oh. Uh oh.
You would think that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah, I would
somehow
actually.
Oklahoma went down.
um,
Somehow Oklahoma went down.
yeah, they did. How come I don't see Penn State on here?
A
What's
7-1 team is over an 8-0 team. That's just
Where do you see? Oh, Penn State lost. That's why Penn State lost to Illinois.
yes.
That's another shaker there.
9
Okay, so
overtime
Penn
game.
State. That's right. Penn State lost to Illinois, which is a rough one, which actually dropped them to 20.
Yep.
Stinks. Um,
I
and
mean,
then
they
Oklahoma
had
State.
their QB injured during the Iowa game, and
Mm,
I mean, the
and
offense
then
wasn't really the same.
Oklahoma State lost to Iowa State.
Yep.
So we had some interesting games, some interesting losses. I mean, it still doesn't equate to why Alabama would have moved up one, but we're not here to
Did
kind of
I
talk.
did I did I
Yeah,
not say that
you did, you
there's an
did.
SEC bias? Did I not say that?
And the last game I'm seeing here, or last two games, number 23 Pittsburgh beat Clemson. Clemson, what the bleep happened? This is gonna be
They
a different.
they lost their mojo.
So I mean, the way it's shaping up right now, and oh yeah, Purdue beat Wisconsin. Wisconsin beat Purdue.
Yes.
At the number 25. So Wisconsin trying to play spoilers
Wisconsin's
there.
still a really good football team. It's
They've
just that
always
they're
been
not
a good
ranked.
team.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, they've always
and
been
you
a
just
good
talking
team.
about Purdue.
I was. So we got top 10 here. We got Georgia. We got Cincinnati. All right. You got Alabama, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon, Michigan State,
Trust and belief.
Iowa,
If
and Ole
the voting
Miss.
committee had their say, Alabama would be number 2 right now.
I mean, it's only a 60-point swing right now.
Yep.
So let's see what happens. We still have one
Wow,
undefeated.
I'm already
No,
calling my
excuse me.
shot right now. Even if Cincinnati wins this week, Alabama's going to be number 2.
We got four undefeated teams outside of the top 10.
Yep.
We got Wake Forest, we have SMU, San Diego State,
Hmm.
and UTSA. So I'm curious to see if they even
No,
sniff,
no,
you know,
no,
if they like sniff it just a little bit. Now,
nope,
I'm just talking about sniffing the top 10.
nope.
Um, he's like, no.
I mean, maybe Wake Forest might be able to sneak in there if there's a really bad loss within some of these teams. But
Again, Alabama's loss wasn't bad. And that's the only reason I could tell that they didn't fall. But I
Oklahoma's
don't know
win
why
was
Oklahoma.
was worse. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Oklahoma's win was just as good, and we're not talking about like they're not separated by a few points. Like it's a pretty good little margin there. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. I mean, right now Alabama has 1,417 points to Oklahoma's 1,383. So I mean, I'm not sure why and how that swing, how they would have gotten not just 34 more points, but since they were behind, like how they would have made up that difference.
yeah,
And then again, you got some of these other undefeated teams. I just wish it went based on wins. Like, did you win? Yeah.
no, it's supposed to
Okay.
be wins, quality of opponent. But again, Alabama's got Alabama.
And that's why I think they need to expand the playoffs. They need to expand it to be more inclusive to the people who are undefeated. Like, if you're
In
undefeated,
fact, oh gosh, this isn't a read, but this is something I just thought of. Watch, even if Cincinnati loses one game by a
oh, they're
field
done.
goal,
They're done.
we're gonna have Georgia, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Ohio
Ohio
State
State.
in the college
Yeah.
football
Oh,
playoffs.
without question. Cincinnati can't lose no dang games. Yeah, they can't lose no games. Cincinnati, they can't lose no games.
Exactly, and it's a shame
Yeah.
that they have to work so hard just to survive.
Yeah, I guess that's the what they're in the American the AAC, the
Uh,
ACC, ACC.
ACC, I believe.
Yeah, ACC. Yeah. Um, it- they just need to figure that out. They need to figure it out. Even if you have to have conference, like even if you have to have conference tournaments, right? Like I think that would be better. Conference tournaments.
They do have
Um,
conference tournaments.
no, they have. I mean, you're talking about the conference games during the
No,
season.
the actual conference tournaments at the end of the season.
They have a conference championship game. They don't have a tournament.
Oh yeah,
I'm talking about like a legit like tournament. Like maybe instead of having the college playoffs, you go conference tournament, and then whoever wins the conference goes to the playoffs. Like even though there's more teams in there's a lot. It would be a lot more games. Number one, that would be great for us. Not so great for the players, I understand, but at least they can make money now, so it's kind of a balancing act. But to me, it's like I just want it to be fair. Like I just want somebody like I want these guys at the bottom. I want UTSA, I want SMU, I want some of these teams to get a chance to at least play in the playoffs and get that experience. Number one, that helps their enrollment, and it helps teams say, hey, I don't have to go to a Power Five team. Like I can go to Wake Forest or Kentucky or one of these teams and
I
be
mean
just fine.
we've been saying that, you know, about B not well BYU a few years ago, and then like almost a
Right.
decade ago with Boise State.
Oh, Boise, yeah, they had a nice little run too. But I mean, it's all good, Johnny. It's all good.
I got nothing. All
Hey,
I'm doing is giving people spoilers, unfortunately.
it's all good. It's all good. But we also had that crown jewel, right? Shout out to the crown jewel. Shout out to
Mm,
WWE. Shout out to
mm,
Xavier Woods.
mm,
Can we at least give shout out to Xavier Woods?
mm.
Okay, I know you heard this podcast in your favorite podcast, but if you didn't, you can always go to our website at
You really gonna end it
www.debatedontrends.com.
on crown jewel.
That's where you
Scott.
can hear this episode as well as all the previous. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We're going to go over Dark Side of the Ring. It's just the season finale. I don't know. Might be one or two left.
I think it's like one more episode after this.
Yeah. We'll be tuning in Dark Side of the Ring. But we're also going to go over the news, any analysis, as well as the ring.
Wow.